I would like to see that. It would be fun. Let's move to the exit question. My parents, brothers, cousins, next door neighbors, best friend just heard about Bitcoin last week, and they want to get into Bitcoin mining. They've got some computers. Is there still a chance for them, or is it all these giant mining farms? Jed Grant.
Yeah, they should probably not jump straight into mining. People that come now with that question, though, the good answer is to convince them to get a Raspberry Blitz or equivalent and spin up their own node and run a node in the Lightning Network, and actually tell them the story that providing liquidity on the Lightning Network today is like mining was in 2014, 2013. So if you get in now and start running your own Lightning nodes and you start establishing trusted channels and providing liquidity, in 5 to 10 years, you might be a big boy in the liquidity game in Lightning. So that's where the getting's good now.
Josh Sigala, can I get you a Bitcoin miner?
Yeah, Jed, that's a really important point to make, and it should be made on a daily basis. Yeah, I still like the idea of solo mining with a single tiny little USB stick and treating it like a lottery ticket, because it's super cheap now. It cost me, I don't know, $10 to buy this thing, and I chuck it in and it just sort of, hey, it could find that nonce. It could find that nonce. And you never know, you could be lucky. I think the chances are probably better than the lottery. I don't know. Some mathematician is going to have to tell me the answer.
Chances are pretty bad. Let's go Ben Ark.
I quite like the fact that when you get people who've never really thought about Bitcoin so much and they ask you about Bitcoin nowadays, it used to be that everyone always said, oh, what is this? I can mine this on my computer, can't I? Whereas now people don't say that when they say, what is this Bitcoin thing? Or they say it less, at least, because that used to be the standard, what is Bitcoin? I heard I can mine it on my computer. So thankfully, this concept of mining Bitcoins on your computer is going, because it's impossible and a waste of time even trying. But yeah, spinning up nodes, I don't think that there's a business model for having any sort of profitable return as a routing node for fees, because I think you've got payment splitting and it's always a race to the bottom fee wise, and there'll be plenty of nodes who'll just do that for transactions for free in the future. But I do think that things like these liquidity pools, like using all that liquidity which is sloshing around in the Lightning Network, because it's a hot wallet, and they're, like the stuff which Alan are doing with their liquidity pool, you can, loan your Bitcoin out in a very secure, cryptographically secure way, and then get some return on it, get some yield on it. So I think there's going to be a lot more of that happening, because this money which is on the Lightning Network, you can slosh around, it can do all, you can lubricate economic growth in a way which you can't do with Bitcoin on chain. And I think there will be a business model. I think people who do have money on Lightning will be able to get some return from it doing that. And that's a much more sensible thing to do with your, if you want to try earning some money with Bitcoin. But as always, the best thing with Bitcoin is just buy some, don't do anything with it for 5 years, and retire.
Martin Wismayer.
I think Jed's point and Ben's point of providing liquidity on the Lightning Network. I've heard of some of the guys, I don't know the exact details, some of the guys in the Dutch Bitcoin channels on Telegram, they're doing just that, and it's and they're making about 6% APR on it. So that's better than most banks give you nowadays. It's relatively low risk or no risk. So, but I would have advised against mining at home. The idea is nice, but it's a big boys game now. You need megawatts, and it's not going to cut it with a USB stick that Josh found in his closet or his computer drawer, because I tried that not too long ago, just 2 years ago, one of the old USB sticks with extra USB power, and I had a Raspberry Pi, so I connected it. And the thing is, before you even finish your workload and you can submit it, that is already a new block. So in practice, it will never, ever, ever be able to submit its work done to the pool before the next block is in. So that means that you are using electricity, but you're never ever you're contributing literally nothing. But I saw one art project which was really nice. It was at Parallelnipolis a few years ago, and they made an art, a sort of like a artwork, and it was called Pecunia non olet, meaning, I think it's Latin for money doesn't stink. So what they did is they had a Raspberry Pi, they connected one of the USB miners, and the USB miners was this on a sort of like stone plate, and they had drops of lavender oil in the workspace. So the heat generated by the mining, basically the miner was creating money, was giving the scent of lavender out in the workspace. So yes, money doesn't stink. It smelled like lavender. So that was, and a little sign, it said the name of the artwork. So yeah, I think there's definitely use for those USB miners. And if I find one, I'll recreate the artwork to have some lavender scent or other essential oil diffuser scent. But yeah, but if they're new to mining, it's really just cheaper to just purchase some on an exchange. Wait for the dip or DCA your way in and buy some sats every month or week, and then just enjoy your Bitcoin. It's also less frustrating, keeps the peace at home, because those miners are so noisy. You know, it was either I had to choose either be single again or the miner out of the house. So I shut down the miner. So yeah, don't mine. Look into like building a node with a Raspberry Pi. You'll learn a lot. If you're not that savvy with computers, use the Get Umbrel node. Ben has made LN Bits. So with the LN Bits, you can start your own experiments on the Lightning Network. You can also use the node to start providing liquidity on the Lightning Network. So you'll learn a lot more. It's a lot less frustrating. It's a lot less noisy, and it's not as expensive either, because to get into mining, you really have to get some equipment. Those sell at a premium. There will be no new miners coming out until the end of the year. So anything that's out there gets snapped up by the big boys. So you're not gonna be successful. It will be a frustrating experience. And at World Crypto Network, we really want your crypto experience to be smooth sailing. So get a Raspberry Pi, start a node, get cracking on that, and just buy some Bitcoin.
Dan, Eve, it sounds like it's going to be really difficult to mine Bitcoin at home unless I'm interested in air freshener. What about graphics cards? Is there anything I could do with graphics cards, Dan?
I must admit, I'm so sad that you can't mine with graphics cards, because I started off with two GTX 680s, and you could just about wean something out that was more than power. And then I bought some block eruptor cubes, and then got stung by Firefly Labs, and then probably another few companies, and yada yada yada. But it was so, and then I built a mining farm for shitcoins, and mining. Yeah, I remember mining Flappy Coin and all sorts of other absolute crap. But the point was, it was fun. It was like, it was fun sweating at 4 a.m, like going, one of my miners is down, and just fiddling around with it in CG Miner and stuff. And I kind of really, really miss all that, really miss it. So it's kind of a shame that it did go to ASICs, and that you couldn't just do it in fun, inventive ways that would have got more people involved, even like, was it Peter Todd who explained how you could do it via pen and paper? Obviously, that wouldn't be competitive, but no, I miss the mining with graphics cards. It was a cool part of life. So it's a shame that it's not kind of something that people can do from home. And realistically, even if it's getting batches of miners or getting in on one of a miner of a new batch, you've got to have cheap electricity. And yeah, as everyone said, you might as well just buy Bitcoin and then shove it into Lightning liquidity and then earn a yield off that. Or obviously mine shitcoins, but that's not financial mining advice.
I want to go against the group here, and I want to argue for everyone to mine at home, because mining at home gives you all the experience of being a system administrator. Remember those guys with the pagers who always had to leave the party early because the servers melted down? That could be you. If your air conditioning ever turns off, your miner's going to overheat and maybe burn down your house. That could be you. All the time you're running the miner, the fans are getting weaker and weaker, and the chips are getting hotter, and your hardware is getting worse and worse. That could be you for pennies a day. So yes, at home mining, there's still a chance for you. Maybe you could get Ethereum or some other coin and trade it for like 3 other coins, and you're going to make so much money. You're not going to pay gas fees. It's going to be sweet.